Hai, Assalamualaikum. My name is Wan Nur Syamimi binti Wan Muhammad Tarmizi. Today, I will share the topic that I choose is Gen Z in the workplace. Sound interesting, right? So, let's go. Entire industry and businesses will rise and fall in the wake of the Generation Z. Yet few industry or organization seem to be ready for it. Are you? Who is Gen Z? Generation Z is broadly defined as the generation that was born between the mid-1990 and the mid of 2000. However, Generation Z is coming of age and is beginning to make its own mark on the workplace. By 2025, Gen Z will make up 27% of the workforce in OECD countries and 1/3 of the Earth population. Okay, so now we will talk about trait of Gen Z in the workplace. For the first one is preference for traditional communication. Even though Generation Z grew up with texting and instant message, it showed that they prefer to speak face-to-face in the workplace. This could be because they find the nuances of written communication difficult to interpret. Second is desire to work individually. Team environments are not a problem for Gen Z, but many young employees prefer to work on individual projects as much as possible. By working independently, Gen Zers are able to showcase their skill and abilities. The next is mobile first habit. Generation Z is used to smartphone and relies heavily on productivity apps in the workplace. Not only that, but the development of voice common technologies has made the smartphone an indispensable work aid for Gen Z. Lastly, motivated by stability. Because Gen Z grew up in a time of serious economic recession, they are more risk-averse than millennials. Thus, they value the stability that comes from having a predictable job with a clearly defined compensation package. Characteristic of Gen Z. Generation Z is financially focused. When it comes to work, Generation Z view their job as a means to an end. Unlike their millennials counterpart who often need to love what they do, Gen Z understand that work is performed for financial reason. They will readily accept employment that provide a steady income and necessary benefit even if it isn't their dream job. Next is Generation Z is all about technology. From the time of their birth, the internet and cell phone for the most part were commonplace. Gen Z wants instant gratification and they know if that they need information, it's easily accessible. Because being connected make communication virtually limitless, it's not uncommon for members of Gen Z to have friends all over the world. Lastly, change is welcomed by Gen Z. With limitless information at their fingertips, Gen Z has a lot of knowledge and exposure to many different topics. With this breadth of knowledge, they constantly seek new ideas and experience. They will change direction on dime without a second thought, leaving some of the older generation shaking their hand, trying to keep up. Millennials versus Gen Z in the workplace. Firstly, millennials want to work toward a purpose, while Gen Z motivated by money and job security. Next, millennials more interested in ongoing conversation than annual assessment, but Gen Z need frequent feedback on their performance. Besides, millennials interested in collaboration and teamwork, Gen Z driven by individual performance and competition. Lastly, view their career as one of the most important things in their life, while Gen Z prioritize a healthy work-life balance. What does Gen Z mean for employers? To attract Gen Z, employers must be ready to adopt a speed of evolution that match the external environment. That means developing robust training and leadership program with a real and tangible focus on diversity, such as consider partnering at the university level to adopt top female talent to attract more women candidates for such role, create latest career path and multiple work format, and set up internal marketplace to match project with needed skill set. Lastly, most employees are already very familiar with millennials, but soon Generation Z will represent a large portion of the workforce. Understanding this new generation's trait and preference will help us to create a culture that plays to their strength and make your company an attractive option for job seekers.